Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia, chapter 179. And I'm sorry if the lighting is a little bright. It's just it's really bright. It's just a really bright day over here. I have my blinds closed, but whatever. Anyway, let's get to this review itself. And right off the bat, we get a rather over-the-top introduction to the chapter from President Mike that the cultural festival has started without Izuku, which, like, I suppose it would make sense that it would keep going on, considering that they didn't put a whole lot of heavy emphasis on the fact that they really genuinely needed the rope. So, and Izuku's whole role in the cultural festival itself has been very much pushed aside. Like, he doesn't even really have a purpose in the cultural festival other than to be around Eddie at this point. So, yeah, it's one of those things where I can kind of understand as to why the cultural festival would start without him. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if I had to guess, I'd say Horikoshi's going to play it up where Momo uses her quirk to create the rope they need, but that'll also lead to the inevitable situation where all the students, or at the very least Class 1A, is going to start wondering where exactly he is. And, the more it would be really great, to be honest with you, if honestly Eddie was the one who ends up talking Gentle down. Like, if it basically goes through with what I think it is, that if it basically ends up how I think it's going to go, with basically Aizawa and Togata basically coming to Izuku's aid, Eddie's going to be with them too. So I think it would actually be kind of nice if Eddie was actually the one to talk him out of it. I know it's going to sound very, very cliche, but at this point, it's basically from what we learn of Gentle in this chapter, it would almost make sense that it would be a single child. It would almost be kind of fitting, I think, if it was a single child that actually ends up talking him down. I know it's going to sound very cliche, and I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think I'm not 100% positive it's actually going to happen. I'm sure Horikoshi has other plans, but yeah, it would be kind of nice if Eddie was the one to actually, in order to actually to talk him down. So yeah, I'm not holding my breath, but it would be nice to see Eddie actually have a part to play in the whole conflict with pretty much. It would be nice to see Eddie have a part to play in the whole conflict that Izuku is having with Gentle right now. And about Gentle himself, so we finally understand Gentle's goal in this chapter, and even why he uses social media to promote his activities. Gentle was literally a forgotten byproduct of the hero system. He was, along with the expectations and problems that come along with, like, he was basically thrown to the wind without anyone even fucking knowing his name, after he continuously tried and failed. Like, yeah, like, this chapter, it really showed it really showed the downside. Like, I think one thing that this chapter really did is, like, it was actually mentioned previously. It was actually mentioned a little bit in season 2, and a little bit in earlier on in the series. Pretty much, I think it was Principal Nezu who said it. Like, he was talking about Shigaraki, for instance. Like he was pretty much a forgotten child, like someone who didn't receive the proper quirk training or anything like that. And in a way, Gentle is pretty much a very similar situation, if you think about it, because is a very similar situation if you think about it, because if you think about it, and in that respect too, there's actually but in other respects there's also some very interesting parallels between Gentle and Izuku, because Gentle had the same drive, and Gentle has the same drive and conviction that Izuku does to be a hero. But the difference is just their background. Gentle couldn't succeed at passing any of the requirements that this society has created or set up in order to give people with quirks opportunities to be heroes. He even tried many times after failing so much to be a hero, but because he wasn't a pro hero, he was constantly chastised for his actions, like exactly like Izuku did. But honestly, like not even that. Like the biggest difference and parallel between Izuku and uh, Izuku and Gentle for me, it all traces back to All Might again. If you really like, we basically get a little panel in a little page or panel in this chapter where he's where Gentle is approaching an old friend from his school days who is now a pro hero. He basically approaches him to say hi. The friend says, "Who are you again?" It's pretty much what Gentle was trying to do there is he was trying to engage in a conversation, and I think even he was trying to feel better. He was trying to feel better about his situation and hope that his friend could inevitably give him hope that maybe it wasn't hopeless for him. That's pretty much exactly like All Might did with Izuku. When Izuku approached All Might told when Izuku approached All Might back then in the very beginning of the series, All Might told him like after Izuku proved himself, of course. All Might told him he was quirkless, but he wanted to be a hero. And after Izuku performed that heroic deed, All Might listened, offered him guidance, as well as a path to become a hero. It was a little rocky, but All Might eventually did offer him that advice. Gentle had a quirk, and like I said, for a time a friend. But once that friend became a pro hero, he was abandoned with no one to offer him guidance or a clear path as to what he should do. And it was that final nail in the proverbial coffin where all the compiled experiences he's had with this hero system, where all those compiled experiences he had with this hero system, it truly opened his eyes to see how deeply flawed the system that this world exists in is, and it gave birth to a genuine desire to change things, even if he had to become a villain to do it. It's it's actually it's actually kind of incredible, really. Like, and in many respects, like people have pretty much already said this. I think I may have mentioned it once or twice offhand, but this chapter really brought forth how much Gentle is like Stain, but also how differently they approach their methods and ideals as well. Stain, for Stain, he pretty much eventually, after trying to do things a peaceful route, he eventually snapped and decided the only way to change things was to do it by force. But Gentle, while I can't say his passive in his approach per se, definitely seems to be doing things a bit more peacefully, or trying to do things in a way where people don't, or in a way where he can try and keep as many people from getting hurt as possible. In fact, it's actually surprising how much Izuku made him break his creative violence, because Gentle was straight up going in this episode, or in this chapter, sorry. And I'm not gonna lie, if there was ever a disappointing moment in this chapter for me, it's Gentle's power up. I mean, okay, I wasn't expecting the fight to be a one-shot victory, but somehow I expect a little more from a power fueled by love. Like, I expected Izuku to, in order to be struggling a little more. Like, I know it's been said I think it was said already that Gentle isn't the most proficient fighter, but you'd think with a power up like that, he would hold up a little bit more of an edge. I mean, it is power of I mean, it is the power of it is his power up is fueled by love, and I know in itself has caused a little controversy based on the question of Labrava's age, but I'm kind of one of those people that I like with the whole age thing. I push that kind of question to the side, and like I'm still kind of a little iffy about this whole his power up being fueled by love. I'm not entirely sure what. Like maybe it is because of Fairy Tail. I don't know, but just this power up, Labama's power. I don't know. I just don't like it for some reason. And it's. I don't think it's even the fact that it reminds me of Fairy Tail. It's just there's. It seems too much of a gimmick. I think that's what it is. Her powering up like that, just her quirk just seems like too much of a gimmick for me. It's just not right for me. And but overall, like I gotta say, he definitely, but yeah, overall gentle. He's definitely the more pacifistic version of Stain for sure. And yeah, he genuinely wants some change, definitely. Although at the same time, I'm genuinely kind of curious as to what he plans for as to how UA works into all this. Like, what is he going to do at UA in order to in order to change things? Like, that's the one thing that does kind of have me weird as like, what is he going to do at UA with the cultural festival going on? I wonder. Um, and other than that, like they say, manga can't be educational because apparently Horikoshi does give us a little word lesson about what to describe about what we can use to describe Gentle and his whole situation back then from his backstory, which is that Gentle was basically a freighter, a person who fails to get full time employment. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of sympathize with him in that regard because I'm just kind of like I'm a part timer at the Edmonton Food Bank, so I'm in between jobs right now. So yeah, it's one of the I can sympathize with a guy like that. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Dead Night of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.